past the harbor, turning every window gold. I sat where waves reached up the shoreline, with my jacket round my shoulders. And when the water turned to amber, I remembered standing here with you. Last light on the water, staying after day is gone. Just like one old memory that somehow carries on. You used to wait until the sunset had left one narrow line of red. We wrote our names along the wet sand, then watched the tide erase them slow. I thought that night would last forever. I was young enough to think so. Last light on the water, burning softly on the sea. Everything around me changes, but that evening stays with me. Last light on the water, fading somewhere far away. I can almost hear you laughing in the colors of that day. The beach grew colder for just a moment. I walked beside you. Last light on the water. Some loves never say goodbye. The red was gone. The sea remained. I found the bench beside the seawall, still facing west the way it did. I sat where you would always sit there, and left your side untouched a while. The sky was losing all its color, I could almost see your smile. The bench by the sea, still looking toward the sunset. One empty place beside me, where evening used to stay. The bench by the sea, weathered by the years. I thought that time had taken everything, but somehow you were here. We used to count the passing sailboats and guess which one would reach the bay. You always chose the smallest one there, and somehow it would win the race. I found the mark along the armrest your ring had made so long ago. The tide moved in, the lamps came on. I sat beside what time had left. The bench by the sea, still facing toward the sunset. One empty place beside me, one memory holding on. I stood before the night came down and carried you along. The sea grew dark, I walked away. The evening faded past the breakwater, and all the boats were coming home. I walked out to the end of the pier, where we once watched the daylight go. Then far beyond the darkening water, the little lighthouse came alive. Light beyond the pier, shining where the sea turns blue. Every time it crossed the water, I remembered me and you. Light beyond the pier, steady through the fading sky. Some things disappear with evening, some keep burning through the night. You used to count each sweep of light there before we started walking home. I always laughed when you lost track, then counted softly on my own. Tonight I stood there without speaking and watched it find the shore again. One beam of light, one quiet sea. For just a moment you stood with me. Light beyond the pier, shining through the evening blue. Years have passed along this shoreline, but that light still leads to you. Light beyond the pier, turning slowly through the night. I left before the stars came out, with your memory in the light. pier grew dark. The beacon turned. The tide was low along the shoreline, the evening turning soft and gold. I saw two footprints near the water and thought of walks from years ago. You always stayed close to the breakers, while I kept farther from the foam. Footprints at sundown, fading with the tide. Two shadows on the shoreline, walking side by side. Footprints at sundown, gone before the night. The sea erased the steps we left, but not that evening light. We used to walk until the street lamps came on behind the harbor wall. You'd stop whenever gulls flew lower, then laugh because I missed them all. Tonight the beach was almost empty, but I still heard you came, the marks were gone. I kept on walking with the dusk. Footprints at sundown, fading with the tide. Two shadows on the shoreline, walking side by side. Footprints at sundown, nothing left to see. Still every wave that touched the shore brought you back to me. The tide moved in, the sky went dark. The road was quiet by the shoreline. The sky was turning copper red. I passed the little shop we knew there, its wooden sign still overhead. The paint had faded in the sea wind, still hanging where we left it, beneath those leaning trees, signed by the shore, weathered by the years. One small thing still standing there brought everything back clear. We used to stop there after walking and share a drink before heading home. You'd lean against the old blue railing while evening settled on the road. Tonight the door was closed and silent, but I could almost hear your voice. The wind moved through, the sign swung slow. I stood there longer than I meant to. Signed by the shore, moving in the evening breeze, still hanging where we left it, beneath those leaning trees. Signed by the shore, fading into night. Some places lose their color, but never lose their light. The road grew dark, I walked on. The sun was low above the water. The boats were turning toward the bay. I walked along the old sea railing where we once watched the end of day. A warm wind moved across the harbor, brought your voice back for a while. The evening turned the water golden, just like the summer we were young. I almost turned to say your name there, the way I used 2 years ago. Kept moving toward the shoreline. The sky kept changing as I stayed, and somehow in that fading color, you never felt so far away. We used to leave before the darkness, then take the long road back through town. You always stopped beside the railing to watch the final sun go down. Tonight I stayed a little longer, until the first street lights came on. One fading sky, one quiet shore, evening turned the water golden, then slowly faded into blue. I stood there while the harbor darkened, remembering the way we knew. The years had carried us much farther than either one could see back then. But every sunset on that water still brings me close to you again. The lights came on. I walked toward home. The sun was falling past the headland and turning every sail to gold. I stopped beside the harbor railing where we had stood so long ago. A ferry crossed the glowing water, then vanished slowly from my sight. Do you remember the bay when the evening turned to amber? Do you remember my hand resting quietly in yours? Do you ever see that sunset when another summer ends? Do you remember the bay the way I remember then? He used to point toward the islands and name the places we might go. We had no map and little money, but somehow that was all we needed. Tonight those islands looked much farther, yet every word came back to me. Where did those summers go? Where did those evenings hide? The water gave no answer, only carried on. Do you remember the bay when the sky was turning crimson? Do you remember the wind moving softly through your hair? Do you ever stop at sunset and think of who we were back then? Do you remember the bay? I still remember everything. The fairy lights grew small stayed until they disappeared. The sun had slipped beneath the water, but red still lingered in the sky. I stood where evening met the shoreline and watched the colors slowly die. You once said sunsets stayed much longer when someone watched them by your side. The color you left behind, still hanging over the sea. The day was almost over, but you came back to me. Clouds grew pale above the harbor. The fishing lights began to show. I thought about the way you'd linger when everyone was ready to go. You always waited for the last light, as if you knew what it could hold. The color you left behind, still hanging over the sea. The years had taken so much away, but not what stayed with me. Beside me, no hand in mine, only the water and one last line of light. The color you left behind was fading from the sea. The night arrived around me, but you stayed quietly with me. The sky turned blue. I started home. The sunset slipped behind the harbor, and lights came on along the pier. I watched them tremble on the water, the way they did when you were here. You used to say the sea looked kinder when evening settled soft and slow. The boats came home one after another. The sky grew darker over town. I stood there while the harbor shimmered and let the old years gather round. Some nights move on without a warning. Some stay no matter where you go. I still find you in the harbor lights. We used to walk beside the moorings and listen to the ropes pull tight. You knew the names of every vessel. I only watched the changing light. Tonight the same old bells were ringing, and every sound came back again. One boat came in, one light went out. The tide kept moving without a sound. Filled with small reflections, the last red color left the sky. I thought of all the nights behind us and all the words we let go by. The years can change the roads between us. The sea can carry ships from sight. I still find you in the harbor lights. The pier grew quiet. The lights remained. The sun went down behind the headland, but red remained across the sea. I watched the darker waves roll inward and felt an old night come to me. You stood beside me that September, coat pulled tight against the wind. We stayed until the shore grew colder, until the boats became small lights. You said tomorrow came too quickly. I said we still had half the night. Neither of us knew that evening would be the last one quite that way. Now every red horizon brings me back to that September day. The harbor road was nearly empty. The lamps were waking one by one. I walked the path we took together. After every sunset had gone, the years had changed the little houses, but not the salt upon the wind. Red in the west, blue on the sea. One fading evening still follows me. The final color left the water, and darkness settled on the bay. I thought of how we walked together, with nothing left we had to say. Some memories grow softer with us, some stay exactly where they began. And every red horizon still takes me back to where you stand. The red went out, the sea turned black. The sun was low along the coastline. The road was glowing copper red. I drove the curve above the water, where you once leaned against my side. The windows down, the warm wind rising. That old road opened up again. One turn, one view, and there you were. Some roads remember more than we do. Down the coast road, under the fading sun, for a few miles beside the ocean, I was 21. We used to stop above the harbor when evening settled on the bay. You'd point toward the distant islands and swear we'd reach them all someday. Tonight I passed that same old lookout, but kept the car moving along. Down the coast road, under the fading sun, for a few miles watch them fade behind me with the last light of the sun. The road turned inland, the sea fell from view. I stopped beside the seaside hotel, where sunset filled the window glass. For just a second in the reflection, I saw the summer that had passed. You used to stand there by the curtains, watching red light cross the room. Sunset in the window, gold across the floor. One old room behind the glass, one life we had before. We stayed there once in late September, with salt still drying in our hair. You opened both the narrow windows and let the evening fill the air. Tonight the room belonged to strangers, but the light looked just the same. One room can change, 1 year can go, but evening keeps the things we know. Sunset in the window, red against the sea. The room was gone from my life, but not from memory. The curtains closed, the light moved on. The sun was touching down on water. A golden road ran through the bay. I stood where we had watched it years ago and let the evening drift my way. You once said light upon the ocean looked like a road we ought to take. The sky grew red, the water shone, and suddenly I wasn't alone. The whole sea turned to gold before me, just like the summer we once knew. a shadow near the shore. You'd say, just 5 more minutes, smiling, then somehow ask for 5 minutes more. Tonight I waited just as long there until the gold began to fade. The whole sea turned to gold before me, then slowly melted into blue. The years between us felt much smaller with every fading shade I knew. I watched the final light leave the water, but something warm remained with me. For one more sunset, I walked that road with you. The gold was gone, the sea stayed bright. A red scarf moved along the railing, caught softly by the evening wind. For one brief second I remembered the way you wore your hair back then. The western clouds were turning amber, and suddenly the years grew thin. I saw us walking past the dunes, your shoes held loosely in your hand. I heard the way you laughed beside me when cold waves reached across the sand. One little color brought it all back. That red scarf in the wind. We bought it from a shop near Brighton because the night had turned too cool. You wrapped it twice around your shoulders and said the color made you bold. I'd nearly lost that small November until the evening gave it back. No photograph, no written line, just one red thread across my mind. The sky grew dim behind the headland. The scarf was gone around the bend. I stayed until the light was leaving, then smiled at what the wind had sent. The air grew still. I walked away. sand was on my fingers, though evening had begun to cool. I brushed it slowly from my jacket and thought of how you used to do the same thing after all our walking, laughing when it wouldn't come away. So much has gone, so much has changed, but somewhere in the evening you are still with me. Behind me, someone closed an umbrella. A child ran barefoot toward the road. The cafe chairs were being gathered, and distant windows started glowing. I turned once more toward the open distance before I finally headed home. I don't need every word remembered, I don't need every place unchanged. Some love becomes a quiet part of you and simply learns to stay. Summers passed, the colors faded, but when the evening settles softly, you are still with me, still with me. The sun was sinking past the harbor, turning every window gold. I sat where waves reached up the shoreline, with my jacket round my shoulders. And when the water turned to amber, I remembered standing here with you. Last light on the water, staying after day is gone. Just like one old memory that somehow carries on. You used to wait until the sunset had left one narrow line of red. We wrote our names along the wet sand, then watched the tide erase them slow. I thought that night would last forever. I was young enough to think think so. Last light on the water, burning softly on the sea. Everything around me changes, but that evening stays with me. Last light on the water, fading somewhere far away. I can almost hear you laughing in the colors of that day. The beach grew colder for just a moment. I walked beside you. Last light on the water. Some loves never say goodbye. The red was gone. The sea remained. I found the bench beside the seawall, still facing west the way it did. I sat where you would always sit there, and left your side untouched a while. The sky was losing all its color, I could almost see your smile. The bench by the sea, still looking toward the sunset. One empty place beside me, where evening used to stay. The bench by the sea, weathered by the years. I thought that time had taken everything, but somehow you were here. We used to count the passing sailboats and guess which one would reach the bay. You always chose the smallest one there, and somehow it would win the race. I found the mark along the armrest your ring had made so long ago. The tide moved in, the lamps came on. I sat beside what time had left. The bench by the sea, still facing toward the sunset. One empty place beside me, one memory holding on. I stood before the night came down, then carried you along. The sea grew dark, I walked away. past the breakwater, and all the boats were coming home. I walked out to the end of the pier, where we once watched the daylight go. Then far beyond the darkening water, the little lighthouse came alive. Light beyond the pier, shining where the sea turns blue. Every time it crossed the water, I remembered me and you. Light beyond the pier, steady through the fading sky. Some things disappear with evening, some keep burning through the night. He used to count each sweep of light there before we started walking home. I always laughed when you lost track, then counted softly on my own. Tonight I stood there without speaking and watched it find the shore again. One beam of light, one quiet sea. For just a moment you stood with me. Light beyond the pier, shining through the evening blue. Years have passed along this shoreline, but that light still leads to you. Light beyond the pier, turning slowly through the night. I left before the stars came out, with your memory in the light. The pier grew dark, the beacon turned. The tide was low along the shoreline, the evening turning soft and gold. I saw two footprints near the water and thought of walks from years ago. You always stayed close to the breakers, while I kept farther from the foam. Footprints at sundown, fading with the tide. Two shadows on the shore, ships we left, but not that evening light. We used to walk until the street lamps came on behind the harbor wall. You'd stop whenever gulls flew lower, then laugh because I missed them all. Tonight the beach was almost empty, but I still heard you in the waves. The water came, the marks were gone. I kept on walking with the dusk. Footprints at sundown, fading with the tide. Two shadows on the shoreline, walking side by side. Footprints at sundown, nothing left to see. Still every wave that touched the shore brought you back to me. The tide moved in, the sky went dark. The road was quiet by the shoreline. The sky was turning copper red. I passed the little shop we knew there, its wooden sign still overhead. The paint had faded in the sea wind, somehow I remembered you. Sign by the shore, moving in the evening breeze, still hanging where we left it, beneath those leaning trees. Sign by the shore, weathered by the years, one small thing still standing there, brought everything back clear. We used to stop there after walking and share a drink before heading home. You'd lean against the old blue railing while evening settled on the road. Tonight the door was closed and silent, but I could almost hear your voice. The wind moved through, the sign swung slow. I stood there longer than I meant to. Sign by the shore, moving in the evening breeze, still hanging where we left it, beneath those leaning trees. Sign by the shore, fading into night, lose their light. The road grew dark, I walked on. The sun was low above the water. The boats were turning toward the bay. I walked along the old sea railing, where we once watched the end of day. A warm wind moved across the harbor, brought your voice back for a while. The evening turned the water golden, just like the summer we were young. I almost turned to say your name there, the way I used 2 years ago. Kept moving toward the shoreline. The sky kept changing as I stayed, and somehow in that fading color, you never felt so far away. We used to leave before the darkness, then take the long road back through town. You always stopped beside the railing to watch the final sun go down. Tonight I stayed a little longer, until the first street lights came on. One fading sky, one quiet shore, one old summer. I still remember. The evening turned the water golden, then slowly faded into blue. I stood there while the harbor darkened, remembering the way we knew. The years had carried us much farther than either one could see back then. But every sunset on that water still brings me close to you again. The lights came on, I walked toward home. turning every sail to gold. I stopped beside the harbor railing where we had stood so long ago. A ferry crossed the glowing water, then vanished slowly from my sight. Do you remember the bay when the evening turned to amber? Do you remember my hand resting quietly in yours? Do you ever see that sunset when another summer ends? Do you remember the bay the way I remember then? He used to point toward the islands and name the places we might go. We had no map and little money, but somehow that was all we needed. Tonight those islands looked much farther, yet every word came back to me. Where did those summers go? Where did those evenings hide? The water gave no answer, only carried on. Do you remember the bay when the sky was turning crimson? Softly through your hair? Do you ever stop at sunset and think of who we were back then? Do you remember the bay? I still remember everything. Grew small. I stayed until they disappeared. The sun had slipped beneath the water, but red still lingered in the sky. I stood where evening met the shoreline and watched the colors slowly die. You once said sunsets stayed much longer when someone watched them by your side. The color you left behind, still hanging over the sea. The day was almost over, but you came back to me. began to show. I thought about the way you'd linger when everyone was ready to go. You always waited for the last light, as if you knew what it could hold. The color you left behind, still hanging over the sea. The years had taken so much away, but not what stayed with me. No voice beside me, no hand in mine, only the water and one last line of light. The color you left behind was fading from the sea. The night arrived around me, but you stayed quietly with me. The sky turned blue. I started home. The sunset slipped behind the harbor, and lights came on along the pier. I watched them tremble on the water, the way they did when you were here. You used to say the sea looked kinder when evening settled soft and slow. The boats came home one after another. The sky grew darker over town. I stood there while the harbor shimmered and let the old years gather round. Some nights move on without a warning, some stay no matter where you go. I still find you in the harbor lights. We used to walk beside the moorings and listen to the ropes pull tight. You knew the names of every vessel. I only watched the changing light. Tonight the same old bells were ringing, and every sound came back again. One boat came in, one light went out. The tide kept moving without a sound. reflections. The last red color left the sky. I thought of all the nights behind us, and all the words we let go by. The years can change the roads between us. The sea can carry ships from sight. I still find you in the harbor lights. The pier grew quiet. The lights remained. The sun went down behind the headland, but red remained across the sea. I watched the darker waves roll inward and felt an old night come to me. You stood beside me that September, coat pulled tight against the wind. We stayed until the shore grew colder, until the boats became small lights. You said tomorrow came too quickly. I said we still had half the night. Neither of us knew that evening would be the last one quite that way. Now every red horizon brings me back to that September day. Harbor road was nearly empty. The lamps were waking one by one. I walked the path we took together. After every sunset had gone, the years had changed the little houses, but not the salt upon the wind. Red in the west, blue on the sea. One fading evening still follows me. The final color left the water, and darkness settled on the bay. I thought of how we walked together, with nothing left we had to say. Some memories grow softer with us, some stay exactly where they began. And every red horizon still takes me back to where you stand. The red went out, the sea turned black. Mm-hmm. coastline. The road was glowing copper red. I drove the curve above the water where you once leaned against my side. The windows down, the warm wind rising. That old road opened up again. One turn, one view, and there you were. Some roads remember more than we do. Down the coast road, under the fading sun, for a few miles beside the ocean, I was 21. We used to stop above the harbor when evening settled on the bay. You'd point toward the distant islands and swear we'd reach them all someday. Tonight I passed that same old lookout, but kept the car moving along. Down the coast road, under the fading sun, for a few miles beside the ocean, I was 21. The radio played low, the sky turned blue. I took the long way home because it felt like you. Down the coast road, under the evening sky, for a few miles beside the ocean, the years went rolling by. Down the coast road, I let the old days run, then watch them fade behind me with the last light of the sun. The road turned inland, the sea fell from view. I stopped beside the seaside hotel, where sunset filled the window glass. For just a second in the reflection, I saw the summer that had passed. You used to stand there by the curtains, watching red light cross the room. Sunset in the window, gold across the floor. One old room behind the glass, one life we had before. stayed there once in late September, with salt still drying in our hair. You opened both the narrow windows and let the evening fill the air. Tonight the room belonged to strangers, but the light looked just the same. One room can change, 1 year can go, but evening keeps the things we know. Sunset in the window, red against the sea. The room was gone from my life, but not from memory. The curtains closed, the light moved on. The sun was touching down on water. A golden road ran through the bay. I stood where we had watched it years ago and let the evening drift my way. You once said light upon the ocean looked like a road we ought to take. The sky grew red, the water shone, and suddenly I wasn't alone. The whole sea turned to gold before me, just like the summer we once knew. Softly from the harbor, and every color carried you. I watched that shining road grow narrower as daylight slipped beyond the blue. For one more sunset, I walked that road with you. Until the last boat became a shadow near the shore. You'd say, just 5 more minutes, smiling, then somehow ask for 5 minutes more. Tonight I waited just as long there until the gold began to fade. The whole sea turned to gold before me, then slowly melted into blue. The years between us felt much smaller with every fading shade I knew. I watched the final light leave the water, but something warm remained with me. For one sunset. I walk that road with you. The gold was gone, the sea stayed bright. A red scarf moved along the railing, caught softly by the evening wind. For one brief second I remembered the way you wore your hair back then. The western clouds were turning amber, and suddenly the years grew thin. I saw us walking past the dunes, your shoes held loosely in your hand. I heard the way you laughed beside me when cold waves reached across the sand. One little color brought it all back, that red scarf in the wind. We bought it from a shop near Brighton, because the night had turned too cool. You wrapped it twice around your shoulders and said the color made you bold. I'd nearly lost that small November until the evening gave it back. No photograph, no written line, just one red thread across my mind. The sky grew dim behind the headland, the scarf was gone around the bend. I stayed until the light was leaving, then smiled at what the wind had sent. The air grew still, I walked away. A little sand was on my fingers, though evening had begun to cool. I brushed it slowly from my jacket and thought of how you used to do the same thing after all our walking, laughing when it wouldn't come away, So much has gone, so much has changed, but somewhere in the evening you are still with me. Behind me, someone closed an umbrella. A child ran barefoot toward the road. The cafe chairs were being gathered, and distant windows started glowing. I turned once more toward the open distance before I finally headed home. I don't need every word remembered, I don't need every place unchanged. Some love becomes a quiet part of you and simply learns to stay. Summers passed, the colors faded, but when the evening settles softly